Imagine a moment where destiny itself fractures, a moment where one man stands between two universes, holding the power of order in one hand and the chaos of infinite realities in the other. Tonight, we witness a crossroads where Doctor Strange's path collides with a mantle older than creation, Dr. Fate. And in the shadows of collapsing worlds, a single question burns through the cosmos. What happens when the Sorcerer Supreme becomes something far greater? It begins on a night drenched in thunder. Not the ordinary kind, but the type that shakes magic itself. In the Sanctum Sanctorum, relics rattled on their shelves. The wards trembled like living things afraid of what approached, and Dr. Stephen Strange stood at the center, eyes narrowed, cloak sweeping behind him like a crimson flame. He felt it before it arrived. A pull, a plea, a whisper, through the very veins of the multiverse. The call of fate. A portal carved itself open, not with sparks or fire, but with a thin, golden rip of pure order. Strange's hand instinctively rose, preparing a spell of defense, but the presence that stepped through made even the cloak of levitation tighten around him protectively. Kent Nelson, Dr. Fate, his armor dimmer than usual, as though the light within was fading. Strange stepped forward cautiously. Kent, disenergy, what happened? Fate's voice echoed with layered tones, yet beneath it, weakness. Strange, the balance is failing. Across universes, across realities. A darkness rises that even Nabu cannot withstand. He lifted a trembling hand, revealing cracks of cosmic light spreading across his golden gauntlet. I am dying. Strange felt the truth, like a weight in his chest. Fate wasn't merely a sorcerer, he was a tether, a cosmic pillar maintaining an ancient equilibrium. If he fell, the aftershock wouldn't stop at his own realm. It would ripple into Marvel's universe, and beyond. Strange frowned, mind racing. If the Lords of Order are compromised, they're not compromised. Fate interrupted, hunted. The word hit Strange like a spell to the gut, by something powerful enough to track down the Lords of Order themselves. Before he could speak again, an explosion of shrieking red lightning tore open the sky above New York. Not a portent exactly. It was as if reality was being peeled open by claws. Through it came a sound, not a roar, not a voice, something worse. A pulse of pure malice that made every shadow in the sanctum stretch toward it. Fate staggered. Strange caught him, feeling energy leaking through the sorcerer's armor like liquid fire. Time's up, Fate whispered. A silhouette emerged from the tier, in the sky massive, horned, its outline wreathed in burning crimson. Strange had never seen it before, yet his instinct screamed one truth. This thing wanted fate, and it wanted power. The entity reached through the rip, its hand blotting out the moon as it extended toward them. Strange stood his ground, palms glowing with sigils. You picked the wrong universe. But fate grabbed Strange's wrist suddenly. Firm, urgent. No battles. Not now. There is only one solution. His other hand rose, summoning the artifact that defined him, the helmet of fate, shimmering in final defiance. Stephen Strange, Sorcerer Supreme, I choose you. The words crushed Strange's breath. What? Kent, no. There must be another. There isn't. Fate's voice cracked through the storm, echoing across rooftops, across dimensions. Only you possess the balance, order, and chaos, discipline, and imagination. You are the bridge between worlds. You are the next fate. The helmet hovered, its glow intensifying as though it recognized Strange's soul. The entity in the sky roared, shattering windows across Manhattan. Strange felt the pressure of its presence bending magic around him. He looked into Kent's eyes, human eyes, afraid, yet full of hope. Strange took a breath. If I do this, what happens to you? Fate smiled sadly. I finally rest. The crimson shadow lunged forward. Strange reached out. The helmet of fate dropped into his palms like a fallen star. A surge of ancient power exploded through him, water threading into every nerve, every memory. The Marvel universe trembled as a new cosmic force awakened. Strange felt his consciousness expand, stretching across galaxies, then ripping beyond them into a realm he had never touched before, the realm of the Lords of Order. And in that instant he understood. This was not an inheritance. It was a war. His shadow ripped fully into New York, descending upon the sanctum with world-ending hunger. Strange tightened his grip on the helmet. A single thought burned in his mind. This changes everything. The moment Stephen Strange placed the helmet of fate against his brow, the world vanished, not in darkness, but in overwhelming light. He felt reality melt around him like wax, stretching into a corridor of constellations and runes flowing like rivers of gold. Voices layered upon voices whispered through his mind, some old enough to remember the birth of stars, others sharp and cold like blades forged from law itself. For a second, the weight of it threatened to crush him, but Strange pushed back. He wasn't a novice. He wasn't a vessel. He was Stephen Vincent's strange Sorcerer Supreme, and he would not be consumed. The corridor burst into form, and he emerged into a realm of towering monoliths carved from pure order. Floating citadels crackled with blue lightning, and beneath them stretched a cosmic desert swirling with symbols of truth and destiny. The Lords of Order had taken notice. A voice rolled across the realm like a celestial tide, not one voice, many, speaking as one. "You are not Kent Nelson." Strange found himself floating above a platform etched with spiraling glyphs. A spectre-like silhouette of shimmering gold took shape before him, massive and emotionless. Stray straightened, the cloak of levitation now woven seamlessly into the golden fabric of fate's power. Kent chose me. The helmet accepted me. That should be enough. A second figure materialized beside the first dollar, colder, its form jagged like cracked marble. "You are a creature of chaos magic, unpredictable, imperfect. You do not belong to order." Strange felt a strange duality within him, fate's calm, ancient discipline, and his own raw, adaptive creativity. They clashed like opposite currents, but instead of destabilizing, they fused into something sharper. "I belong to balance," Strange said firmly, "and if you brought me here to punish me for surviving your chosen champion, save it. There's something killing you. Kent is dying because of it, and it's coming for me next." The golden figure leaned closer, the universe reflected in its hollow eyes. The Devourer of Order, a being born from rebellion in the realm of chaos. It hunts the lords, it consumes the anchors of reality. Kent Nelson delayed it at great cost. Strange's mind flashed back to the cracks spreading through fate's armor, the fear in his voice. "And now it's here, in my world. Your new role demands sacrifice," the voices echoed. "You are the Sorcerer Supreme no longer. You are Dr. Fate." Strange felt something inside him recoil. The idea of abandoning his universe, his responsibilities, was unthinkable. "I won't leave my world defenseless. You misunderstand." The air vibrated. "You are fate of both universes." The revelation hit like a spell bomb. Two realms, two sets of cosmic laws, two entire multiverses woven into his very consciousness. He felt their weight instantly, Marvel's unstable cosmic fabric, DC's rigid order, their conflicts grinding like tectonic plates inside his mind. "I can't protect two universes alone." A final figure materialized, its body formed of shifting equations and fractal geometry. You will protect them by ending the Devourer. Root its existence from all layers of reality." Strange swallow. "I fail. Then chaos becomes absolute. Order becomes myth. Reality becomes devoured." The lords extended their hands, and the realms shook. The helmet's power surged, carving pathways of golden fire through Strange's veins. "This is your purpose, your destiny. Supreme Fate 1. Strange clenched his fists as golden sigils spiraled around him, merging with his red spells, forming a luminous vortex of blue, red, and gold. And then the universe screamed. A shockwave tore through the realm, sending monoliths cracking like glass. The sky above split open as the colossal shadow of the Devourer tore into the dimension, its form melting through order like acid on silk. It had followed him. The Lord's voices overlapped in alarm. "It breaches even here," but it was too late. The Devourer's eyes, burning like dying stars, fixated on Strange. He felt its hunger clawing inside his soul. Strange raised his hands, red chaos magic, spiraling with golden fate runes. It was a fusion never meant to exist, born at that moment of crisis. "You want me?" The Strange growled, power rising like a cosmic storm. "Then come take me." The Devourer lunged. Strange unleashed everything. The explosion of light swallowed the realm of order whole, and in the blinding aftermath, Strange found himself falling hurtling, through broken dimensions, back toward Earth, back toward a world about to be destroyed. New York was on fire when Strange crashed back into the mortal realm. The sky was torn into red spirals, the air pulsing with the Devourer's corruption. Buildings twisted unnaturally, their shadows stretching like living serpents. Civilians ran through the streets as gravity warped, and fragments of cosmic energy rained down like molten sparks. And at the center of the chaos, the Sanctum Sanctorum trembled beneath a storm of crimson lightning. Twin slammed into the street with a shockwave that cracked the pavement. Fate's armor formed instantly around him, golden plates locking into place, runes burning across his skin. But his breath was sharp, strained. Battling the Devourer in the realm of order had cost him. He could feel the entity's essence gnawing at his aura, trying to weaken him before the final strike. The Devourer appeared overhead, ripping through a tear in the sky like a colossal nightmare given form. Its body was a mass of shifting crimson darkness, horned and jagged, dripping with the remains of destroyed dimensions. Its voice wasn't a sound, it was a pressure, crushing the air itself. Vessel of order, you belong to me. Strange stood, golden cape unfurling behind him. You've picked one hell of a fight. He rose into the air, fate's power crackling through him like divine voltage. But as he ascended, he felt something else, a tremor in the threads of reality around him. Someone was approaching. A streak of red and gold cut across the sky, landing beside Strange in a cascade of sparks. Wang, battle armor engaged, staff blazing with runes. His eyes widened behind the smoke. Steve-O, Wang breathed. What are you wearing? Strange didn't have time for explanations. Don't engage it. This is beyond anything we've ever fought. Wang glanced at the sky, where the Devourer's roar shattered nearby windows. I noticed. Another figure appeared with a crash, this time from above. Thor descended in a bolt of lightning, Mjolnir humming with power. His gaze locked onto Strange's glowing armor. Strange, what new sorcery is this? He asked, half impressed, half alarmed. Strange shook his head. Not sorcery. Something older. Something heavier. The Devourer descended, its presence distorting the clouds. Its claws scraped along invisible barriers Strange had conjured around the city, barriers already buckling under its touch. Thor brandished his hammer. If this creature seeks battle, it shall have it. No? Strange snapped. Thor, listen, this thing consumes cosmic order. It devoured beings older than the gods. Your power will only feed it. But the Devourer reached toward Thor anyway, sensing his raw divine energy like a feast. Strange reacted instantly. Golden chains erupted from his palms, binding Thor and yanking him backward as the Devourer's claws slashed through the space where the god had been standing. The shockwave alone rippled through skyscrapers. Thor slammed into the rooftop, furious. You dare restrain the god of thunder. Strange hovered above him, voice echoing with fate's resonance. I dare keep you alive. Before Thor could respond, the Devourer's shadow engulfed them both. The creature lunged. Strange countered. Golden sigils ignited around him, forming a barrier of absolute order. The Devourer collided with it, screaming as runes seared its essence, but the shield cracked under the pressure. The ground trembled. The very fabric of Manhattan shuddered. Strange felt the strain in his soul. Two universes' laws clashed inside Himmel's flexible magic and DC's rigid cosmic order. Controlling both was like holding two storms together with his bare hands. The Devourer roared and unleashed a blast of pure chaos that tore through the barrier, hurling Strange backward across the skyline. Buildings crumpled in the shockwave. Strange crashed through a skyscraper and emerged from the other side, blood on his lip, armor flickering. He tasted iron. He felt exhaustion creeping in, but he also felt something else. Kent, a whisper in his mind, a memory, a final ember of the previous fate's wisdom. Balance, Stephen. Not order alone, not chaos alone. Balance. Strange steadied his breath. Within himself, he felt the two forces he wielded, one blazing red, the other gleaming gold. Both fighting for dominance. He extended both hands. One burned with the flames of the Vishanti. The other glowed with the symbols of the Lords of Order, and for the first time, he didn't try to separate them. He fused them. The result was a shockwave that turned the air white. The Devourer froze, as a cosmic tremor rippled through its form. Confusion, fear, something it had never felt before. Strange floated upward, the sky warping behind him as his aura expanded into a swirling halo of red and gold. I am not just order, he said. I am not just chaos. His voice layered Strange and fate, speaking as one. "I am the balance you cannot devour." The Devourer shrieked, the ground splitting beneath its weight as it prepared to unleash everything. Strange tightened his fists. This battle would decide not just the fate of one universe, but of two. The world held its breath. At the center of a collapsing New York skyline, two cosmic forces hovered in the sky, one, a writhing titan of crimson chaos, the other, a lone sorcerer wrapped in the fused power of two universes. Strange could feel the tremors of reality bending around them, like the entire multiverse was leaning in, watching, waiting to see which force would define its future. The Devourer moved first, its jaws split open into an impossible maw, wide enough to swallow a city block, and a torrent of red annihilation surged toward Strange like a tidal wave made of hatred. Buildings evaporated in its path. The clouds tore apart. The asphalt under Manhattan melted into glowing rivers. Strange didn't flinch. Both palms rose, one red, one gold, and a spinning sigil of hybrid magic unfolded before him, a mandala of fractal geometry and mystical flame. The Devourer's attack slammed into it with such force that the sky shattered into shards of light. The shockwave rippled across states, sending tremors deep into the ocean. Strange gritted his teeth as the barrier buckled. His arms burned, his vision blurred. The power required to hold back the Devourer's full force was tearing at him from the inside, ripping at his soul from two directions. Marvel Magic wanted to adapt. DC Order wanted to resist. Neither alone could stop this. But together, Strange roared and pushed forward, infusing the barrier with balanced energy. The mandala lit up brighter, expanding outward like a living star. The Devourer staggered, its flames sputtering for the first time. Its gargantuan body recoiled, confusion twisting through its features. It didn't understand balance. It only understood extremes. Strange soared upward, leaving an afterimage of red and gold spirals behind him. He summoned tendrils of golden chains, fates, bindings each, etched with laws of the universe itself. They wrapped around the Devourer's limbs, its horns, its throat, tightening until the creature's cosmic flesh cracked like volcanic rock. The Devourer roared and snapped the chains instantly. Strange expected that. He teleported behind it, slashing the air with a blade made from pure chaos. Magic, something so volatile, even Wanda Maximoff herself would hesitate to wield it. The blade cleaved through the Devourer's shoulder, carving a burning gash that dripped with cosmic ichor. For the first time, the creature howled in pain, but it was far from defeated. It struck back with blinding speed, faster than its size suggested possible. A colossal claw smashed into Strange and sent him hurtling through the Chrysler Building. The structure groaned and split before collapsing entirely in a storm of dust and fire. Thor and Wang, far below, shielded civilians as debris rained from the sky. Thor looked upward, sweat dripping down his brow. "Strange cannot face this alone," Wang shouted. "Then we make sure he doesn't have to." They unleashed everything. They had bolts of lightning, runes of protection, magical sigils forming walls, vortexes, anchors to stabilize reality, but the Devourer swatted away their interference like mist. Their combined might could barely disrupt its attention. This was Strange's fight, and only Strange's. From the rubble of the fallen skyscraper, a golden light erupted. Strange rose again slowly, painfully. Fate's armor was cracked, flickering. The red chaos burning in his veins felt unstable, wild. His body wasn't meant to contain both forces indefinitely. He didn't have long. And so, for the first time, Strange reached deeper, not into magic, not into order, not into fate, but into himself. Into the part of him that had faced Dormammu, defied gods, rewound death, and carried the weight of universes long before the helmet chose him. He floated upward, armor shedding sparks, breath shallow. "Nabu," he whispered, "Kent, if you're listening, lend me what remains." A soft warmth touched his mind, a memory, a presence, old, gentle, proud. Kent Nelson's voice, faint as dust on the wind. "We stand with you, Sorcerer." Golden energy surged through Strange's armor, sealing its fractures. His aura expanded into a halo that split the storm clouds apart. Red chaos flames spiraled through the gold, creating a vortex of pure equilibrium around him. The Devourer roared and charged, ripping the sky apart as it lunged. Strange pointed both hands at the monster, and his voice carried through the multiverse. I banish you from all realities. A beam of redanned gold light erupted from his palms, an unimaginable fusion of Marvel's limitless creativity and DC's unbreakable order. It tore through the Devourer's body like divine fire. The creature shrieked, its form splitting into fragments of collapsing dimensions. It tried to regenerate. It tried to consume. It tried to adapt. It failed. The light grew brighter and brighter until the entire sky became a canvas of burning gold. The Devourer's scream stretched into infinity and faded into nothing. Erased from existence, past, present, future, and all possible timelines. Silence. The storm dissipated. The sky returned to blue, and Strange fell. Thor caught him mid-air, lowering him gently to the ruined streets. Wang rushed to his side, trembling as he saw Strange's armor fading, turning to dust. "Stephen, no, stay with me." Strange opened his eyes weakly. His voice was strained but calm. "Don't worry. The power isn't gone. Just moving." Wang frowned. "Moving where?" Strange looked toward the horizon, where a faint golden silhouette Kent Nelson stood smiling before fading into the wind. "To where it belongs," Strange whispered. The helmet of fate floated beside him, glowing softly. It waited. Wang hesitated. "Are you keeping it?" Strange stared at the helmet, feeling both worlds echoing inside its metal. The power was unimaginable, terrifying, beautiful, a burden and a responsibility. He shook his head. "No, not forever. Not as a god, only as a guardian. Until the next successor is ready." He lifted the helmet once more, and a warm pulse of acceptance flowed through him. Strange closed his eyes, and when he opened them again, he hovered above the city knots, injured, not weakened, but renewed. His voice echoed with calm certainty. "I am Dr. Strange. I am Dr. Fate, protector of 2 universes." New York watched in awe as he disappeared into a golden ripple, patrolling 2 realms at once. And so, Stephen Strange, once a surgeon, then a sorcerer, became something no universe had ever seen, the guardian chosen by both chaos and order, bridging 2 realities through his will alone. He didn't become the new Kent Nelson. He didn't replace Dr. Fate. He became a fate entirely his own, a balance, a shield, a cosmic answer to a cosmic threat. And somewhere across the stars, something else watched, unseen, curious, and perhaps even fearful. Because the multiverse had learned a truth that day: when Strange wears the helmet, even destiny trembles.